Hey guys, here's Doc's Market Minute for Monday, December 7th. Just want to talk real quick here about what I see as the potential future path of the S&P 500. Starting from the monthly chart here on the left-hand side, what we have is a huge period of non-linear price action. So all of this is basically non-trending price action that we've seen really for about a year. I mean, we had a summer that went nowhere for about 5 straight months, and then we had a little correction inside of there. But from a monthly chart perspective, all of this is nothing more than just coiling up the spring. And we can see the result of this. And what I've been talking about for some time now is that this doesn't happen very often where we have this much energy coiled up on the monthly chart. And it always, always, always leads to a massive move. All of these, a massive move every time we've seen something like this happen. Can go either way, can go to the upside, or as we've seen a couple of times here in early 2001, went to the downside, as well as the '07 move went to the downside. The rest of these went to the upside. Now, this is one of the signals that we see. We see volatility increasing. We see markets go from quiet and trending up to volatile and sideways before they're ready to move to the downside. So are we also seeing the same thing up here? Yes. However, I think this time might be different just because of the fact that the EU is about to step their foot on the gas of quantitative easing again, and this could actually drive the second half of this to the upside. I give this about a 70% probability of this energy, at least on a partial basis, moving to the upside out of this consolidation pattern. So that's the macro picture on the monthly chart, which is really going to be driving things, but the timing is not very concise when that happens. We can have huge levels of energy going for months at a time before all of that pattern energy eventually comes out into the market. Okay, the second thing I see is on the weekly chart over here. Here's the weekly chart. This is setting up as a potential lower high. This is a potential lower high, and we're starting to run out of gas on this chart because this has been such a strong linear move that's come off of especially the September bottom, right? So the September bottom, this has been a very, very strong move going over a couple of hundred points here, straight to the upside, and we've started to already factor that in with consolidation. So that may continue. That may continue for at least a while here. And the next factor here is the daily chart is actually really wound up right now. So this could be good for about 100 points of energy going in either direction. I would say what makes sense here is actually seeing some of that energy coming to the downside. So this daily chart energy going to the downside, which will help recharge the weekly chart by doing so. When we have a counter trend move, that tends to consolidate and recharge that particular time frame. Now, I really don't see, I don't anticipate any kind of a move like this just yet. So even if the 30% probability of the price coming to the downside would not happen for a number of months, I don't think, until this right shoulder would fully form. You can see that head and shoulders pattern there. Usually we don't have the right shoulder, which is incomplete, with just a couple of candles to it before it reverses. So I would expect to see a lot more chop around here in the short term. And you can also see this happening just within a triangle pattern, which is almost the exact 2011 analog happening all over again. So it's not surprising that we see a little bit of weakness coming in today as the price gets close to overhead resistance. So that's one potential route for the market. I think the ultimate answer for where this market will go is in the direction that will confuse and stupefy the greatest number of traders out there. If everybody is looking for a downside move right now, which I think most people are looking for a downside move, I think we might get quite the opposite. But we'll see. If sentiment gets too bubbly and gets too complacent again, then that energy might end up coming to the downside, just like what we saw back here in the August timeframe. That's it for today's Market Minute. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.